Hi everyone, welcome back to Brookvalleylife, or hello for the first time. Today we're talking archery equipment. Are you brand loyal? Yep. What do you think I am? Am I brand loyal or not? Let's go and take a look. So, brand loyalty. Is it a thing? Did I have brand loyalty? Do I have brand loyalty? Well, I used to, I guess. When I bought my first bow, I went to, I would say a local shop, but it wasn't local. And I tested out some bows, which was really good. Tested at the time, Win and Hoyt were the two big names where I was, and I tested both of them, and I found that the smoothness from the Hoyt was what I wanted. So I bought myself Hoyt Nexus riser with a Hoyt G3 limbs. At the time, couldn't get anything better unless you went for the Win with the Innos, and I had Eastern arrows. So yeah, and I thought they were fantastic, and I thought Hoyt was the best at the time for me, anyway. But yeah, since then, I got a Bowtech compound bow. Can't use this anymore because I've split a limb and I can't find any anywhere. This thing shoots fantastic when it was working. This Bowtech Guardian. It's only a £50 one. As you can see, it's quite easy to draw, but the bottom limb has actually split. So if anybody knows of anyone getting rid of any limbs, let me know, because I love that bow. Arrows wise, I just shot Easterns. They were good. I got some X10s. I couldn't tune them. I don't know why. I just couldn't tune them. Could it be because of the barrel shape or whatever, but couldn't tune them. And I changed from them to ACG straight, and they were fine. And I shot most of my competitions with them until I changed over to the Skylons and now the Pandarus that I'm shooting. And yeah, I will continue shooting Pandarus because they're very, very good, and they're a good budget price as well. I looked at the Hoyts, and I've just been watching the prices going up and up and up and up, and I decided, let's have a look at some other things. And this is where I went into looking at the Jungsing T-Bow H7. Got a couple of those. I've got a toe point, a unison riser. That shoots okay. I'm just not that keen on the shape of it. The colour's perfect. And then I found Nika Archery, and I found the ET11, the ET12, and I just love those risers. Would I go back to a Hoyt? Yeah. Would I go back to a Win? Yeah. But at the moment, the budget just won't allow me to do it. I want to show everyone around the world that you can buy a budget riser and it works perfectly. Limbs. As I said, I started off with the G3s from Hoyt. I then went to Uka limbs. This is the HX10 Evo 2s. I love these limbs. Yeah, very well made, thin, fast. These are 70-inch at £40, and yeah, they shot me really well. They've got me my highest scores, won me a couple of competitions. I like these limbs, but they're just a little too heavy for me to shoot now. What else have I shot? As I said, the Hoyt G3s. I've got a set of Hoyt XLs. These are wood laminate. KAP, as I say, they're cheap win in their day. I think these were the ones I shot in my first ever competition, actually, because I had a KAP riser and a KAP set of limbs. They were the cheapest things, and I hadn't realised that the first competition that I went to was the UK Indoor Nationals, shooting for the Navy when I was back in the Navy. And yeah, perfect. And I've just noticed in here there's a really sharp edge. Wonder why my strings were wearing out. But again, yeah, shot these. These were only £26, so quite light. And then I found Nika Archery. Yeah, carbon limbs with resin, made virtually the same way as the Ukas. Are they an Uka knockoff, or have they worked with Uka? I don't know. I'm not worried about all that. I'm just worried about a limb at a decent price, and that works for me. And this was the first one I tested, and I thought, well made, works well, shoots fast, very smooth, and I decided to try their other stuff. So I went on to the C2 limbs, the N3 limbs, and I'm now shooting a Nika riser, the ET11, with the N3 limbs, and I'm loving them. So I have tested a few out there. Not worried about the brand. Shoot whatever I've got. Then it came arrows. Victory VOPs. Now I was shooting Easterns, and my Eastern arrows are somewhere over there. ACGs, ACCs, X10s. I've tried a few of them. Even some of the aluminium arrows for indoors. Now the fat arrows, I always struggled trying to tune, a bit like the X10s, but the ACGs flew beautifully. But what I did find I had an issue with was the carbon and the aluminium coming apart when I was hitting the arrows together. Some people will say don't shoot so many arrows at a target, but when you're shooting 6 and you're still doing it, these things happen. So I had a look around. I looked at some YouTube videos, as you do, and one of the YouTubers out there, Mr. Stephen Han from Archery Supplies, was shooting these Victory VAPs. And now these are a 4.2 internal diameter, a 0.166. Now they're not as small as the X10, but they're around about the same size as the ACGs I was shooting. So I thought, give them a go. They were cheap at the time, and I got the sport version. Great arrow, solid carbon all the way through, points, pins, any brand fit in them, pin knocks, all good. And I was shooting these for a while, but I wanted to go for a little bit thinner arrow because these are a very good arrow. However, if you're shooting at lower poundages, these ones can be quite heavy, and when you get the point in there, and they're, as I said, 0.166 or 4.2 internal diameter millimeters, you do get a little bit of wind drift. So I changed to the Skylon. The Skylon. Again, I saw these available. They're a 3.2 millimeter internal diameter. So same as the X10. Fantastic arrow. 0.0015, I think, straightness. Uses the same pins and points as any point or 3.2 millimeter internal diameter arrow. And I shot these for a while. These are quite expensive. Well, I say quite expensive. They're over $200 an arrow. 12 US now. Sorry, Australian. But they're a very, very tough arrow. Solid carbon all the way through. Great set of arrows. And I also went and bought the Performers, which is the 0.003, I think it is, or 6 from Skylon as well. A lot cheaper. Shoot just as well. I can't find any difference. And I've spun these on my arrow straightness machine, and they're all perfect. No issues at all. I've got 40 grain points in the end, very little wind drift, and lots of speed down range. So very, very good arrow from Skylon. Price of these have been going up, because when I first got them, I think they were around $120 for 12, just for the shafts. So pretty good. And yeah. So then everyone was raving about these things. And I thought, it's now time to give them a go. This is the Pandarus Ice Point. Now, yes, they do make a CA320, and I think it's a 10x arrow as well, or an elite. 3.2 millimeter return. Same. These ones are the same as the Skylon Performers and Paragons, straight. The upgraded Pandarus ones are actually barreled as well, and I think it's the elite is the aluminium carbon, whereas these are just pure carbon. I like these. They're quite light, they're fast, they're straight. 0.003 straightness, and again they take all the 3.2 millimeter points, pins, and I've got my knocks on the end. Great arrows. This is what I'm shooting in competition, or I will be. Fantastic arrow. Can't go wrong with these, and they're very, very good budget arrows. Yeah, I'm very impressed with the Pandarus. As good as the Skylon, if not better, because of the price of them now. As you can see, I wear an Eastern. Ooh, look at that, an Eastern quiver. The reason why I've gone to that is because it's got so many pockets. I can carry lots of arrows. I've got a little bag on there. I can have pens and lots of things. I've got a scope that I don't use a proper scope, but I've got a monocular that I use for looking at my arrows. I've got a rangefinder. It comes with a belt. As you can see, I used to use an SF quiver. It's quite old. I've got Infinitec chest guard. I've got an Infinitec arm guard. I've also got a Lancaster Archery chest guard that I use all the time. Lots of different companies, stuff I use. I just use what's a good budget, what I like. A lot of it comes down to color coordination. I know it shouldn't, but it does. If you look at my bow, red and black with a silver sight, yeah, it all looks good. It all works well, but it's budget priced. I make my own strings, so I don't have to go out and look for $50, $60, $70, $80 strings, if not more. I make my own. So I buy 8125 quarter-pound spool of string material. I purchase some halo serving material, and I make my own strings. I pre-stretch them to 300 pounds. So I make it up, I do both ends, and I stretch it 300 pounds. I then twist it, put it on my bow, check the brace height, whether I want it, in fact just a bit over, take it off, re-stretch it to 300 pounds, leave it for 24 hours each time I'm doing this, and then I will serve the middle of it tomorrow, which because I've got one ready to go, so 24 hours later. And those things I'm really, really happy with. They're very consistent, so yeah, no brand stuff there. Anything else brand stuff? Legend bow case. The only reason I bought that because I wanted a bigger bow case, because I did have a shock. Don't know if you can see that up there. I've had some plastic ones as well. So I don't have any brand loyalty. I'm not paid by anyone. I shoot what I purchase usually, and I purchase budget equipment now. I've got my own day job that what I do. I'm a tutor at the local Polytech, teaching marine engineering. So I do this in my spare time, and I really enjoy it. Just giving back to everyone, showing what's out there, trying to get the odd piece of equipment from my YouTube funding, and I don't get a lot. I'll be lucky if I get 100 New Zealand dollars every 3 months. So I save it up, and then I purchase something, and then I review it, and I shoot it, see what it's like. So I'm very happy. So I don't have any brand loyalty. My own cap, my own top. Yes, Nika have supported me a little bit, but no money's changed hands. I use a Sigmund now rangefinder. They sent me this to review, and I thought it was that good, I've put it in my bag. Can't say better than that. Apart from that, yeah. What do you guys use? Are you brand loyal? I know there's lots of different brands out there. I've seen some people using Cusco, I think it is, which is another Chinese brand. They look pretty good. You got your Win and Wins, you've got your MKs, Fivix, Hoyt. Yes, it would be nice to have everything of the same thing, but I always find that some manufacturers who specialize in like sights, Axel, Sherlock that I use, You may want to get one of those. One, they're very good, but they do the same thing as my Nika sight, but they may last a lot longer. The Sherlock I've got was already secondhand when I purchased it in 2008, I think it was, and it's perfect. If I do go out in the rain with any of this, I take care of my gear. I wipe it down, I WD-40 it, I give it a clean, and I make sure nothing rusts. And if something does rust, I change it out with another piece, which has happened before. Apart from that, stabilizers, biter, they're my main ones. They've lasted forever, same as the bow. I do have some toe point stabilizer sets as well, and of course Nika sent me one very budget version of set stabilizers, but it works for a new person coming into the sport. Perfect, because you want them quite light and they're quite budget orientated. So that is me. I am not really brand loyal to anybody. Are you? Let me know what brands you think are very good, which brands you think are overrated. You could turn around and say all the top brands, yeah, are very good. Yeah, your Hoyts, your Fivics, your Win and Win, MK, top of the range stuff, and I mean the top of the range stuff is excellent. Don't get me wrong, it works perfectly. Otherwise, the guys who are being paid to shoot it wouldn't shoot it. But when you get down into the weeds and you've got the budget stuff, there's lots of good equipment out there. So it's worth having a look around, have a look on YouTube, see who's done a review, what they think about it. But it is very subjective. It's a big one to remember. Just because someone is shooting like me, a Nika, I'm going to say, yeah, it's fantastic. You can't get any better. It's a lot better than any of the Hoyts I've shot. Well, it's as good. Is it better? Possibly. But a lot of the time, it comes down to the lump of meat behind the bow. Am I shooting better than I was with that bow? At the moment, yes, but I'm still not at the same poundage I was back then. I'm only shooting 32 pound. But my training's going well and my form's getting better and better. Therefore, I'm shooting better. You put a good archer on a crap bow, well, I won't say a crap bow, a really budget bow, and a really bad archer behind a really expensive bow, and see who shoots the best. And I can tell you who it's going to be, and it won't be the crap archer. So this is a quick look at brand loyalty. Are you loyal to any single brand, or do you like to mix and match? Let me know in the comments down below. It'd be great to hear what everyone's shooting. Riser, limbs, arrows, strings especially, because a lot of people go out and purchase a string, say $50. That's a lot of money if you think about it. When I can purchase 12 Pandarus arrows with points, pins, collars and nocks, without the fletchings, for 120, so I could get 2 strings virtually the price of a full set of arrows. Doesn't seem right. Whereas you can pick up a spool and make your own, and I can make God knows how many out of a spool like that. I've already made 3 or 4 and I've hardly touched it. The only other thing we haven't talked about is fletchings. What fletchings do everyone use? I know what I use. I know what I used to use. I used to start off with spin wings, and then I didn't find them strong enough, and I went to curly vanes. I went to the Gas Pros. I even went to the spider vanes. I love the spider vanes. Yeah, old Brady and the other guys who used to work with, they made a brilliant piece of equipment. It's just too expensive. So I went on to AliExpress, purchased these things, and I think they were 100 pack for like $20 Kiwi, and they work perfectly. So that's what I use now. But spider vanes I did like, they're just too expensive for me now. Yeah, I do have some with plastic vanes on. I prefer spin vanes, it's just me. But yeah, what do you use? Why? That's the big thing. Are you brand loyal? Do you want to keep everything the same color? Is what you shoot color coordinated, or do you mix and match with that as well? Stick everything down below. Let's have a good conversation, see what everyone's shooting. Keep shooting, and if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like, subscribe, share it with your friends. We're now increasing in numbers. We've got 2,500 subscribers on the channel. It's going up. This is great. The more people we can get chatting about things, the more we can hear what everyone thinks about the budget equipment against the really expensive stuff. So keep shooting. I will catch you next time. Bye bye for now.